Okay, now we are going to see PERT method of solving a network diagram. Now we have already seen CPM method, and if you notice here, you have like similar columns to a CPM method. You have an activity, you have a predecessor activity, and then time estimate. Now in a CPM method, you have a single time estimate. So it is a deterministic model. So you have a single exactly determined time estimate. Here, if you notice, there are three time estimates: optimistic time. There is here you have optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time. So optimistic time is the shortest time taken for an event to complete. So it is like everything is perfect, everything goes on as per time schedule. So it is a perfect time. So optimistic time is the shortest time. Pessimistic time is when like everything goes wrong, the time when you every single value, every single activity or every single stage goes wrong. So that is the time taken to finish an activity when everything goes wrong. So you have pessimistic time. The last one is most likely time. Most likely time is somewhere in between. Okay, so it is like a modal value of these three times. It is the most likely centermost value. If we are going to use a CPM method for this, we'll only use this particular most likely method. So it is the centermost time or time that balances both or all three values. Okay, but we are not going to use these three to calculate. We are going to use these three to calculate another time, and using that we're going to solve the problem. So before we solve, we have to get certain things ready. We have to find expected time and variance. So what I have done is I have written all the activities. The TO is optimistic time, TO, pessimistic time, TP, and most likely time, TM. So I have written all those values from the question. I have written it here. It is there already. Now I'm going to find the expected time, TE, which is equal to TO plus 4TM plus TP whole divided by 6. This is my expected time. And here you have the variance. Variance is TP minus TO divided by 6 whole square. Okay. So these are the formulas that I'm going to use. So here 4TM means 4 into TM plus TO TP. So you have to add. So what I'm going to do is we usually use a like I have a pencil. Wait, let me take a pencil. Right, I have a pencil here. So what I do is I tell my students who are not very comfortable with max, you can always calculate this value and keep it in the side. Okay, so 4 into 1, you just multiply with TM all values. So you have 4 into 1 is 4, then 4 into 4 is 16, 4 2s are 8, 4 1s are 4, 4 5s are 20, then 4 5s are 20, 4 6 are 24, and 4 2s are 8. So I have these values here. This is my 4 into TM. Okay, so now all I have to do is add this and this and divide it by 6. Simple, it's a direct method. So you can use a calculator, of course, but in case you don't want to or you don't have a calculator, you can always do this method. So 1 plus 4, let me focus, yeah. Okay, so you have 1 plus 4 plus 7, so that means 5 plus 7 12. You have 12 by 6, that is 2, the first one. Second one, 1 plus 16 plus 7, so you have like 17 plus 7, that is 24 by 6, this will be 4. The third one, you have 2 plus 8 plus 8, 8 8 16 plus 2 18, 18 by 6, you have 3. Okay, Then 1 plus 4 plus 1, that is 6 by 6, you have 1. Okay. Then you have 2 plus 20 plus 14. So 20, 22, 32, 36, 36 by 6, 6. 2 plus 8, 10 plus 20, 30 by 6, you have 5. 24 plus 3 is 27, 37, 42, 42 by 6, 7. As I say, you can always use a calculator. 1 plus 8, 9 plus 3, 12. You have 2. So these are my expected time, TE. And this is what I'll be using to solve my problem diagrammatically. So these are the values I'll be using. Now we have to find sigma E square variance value, expected variance value. Variance value is T naught, TP minus T naught by 6 the whole square. So 7 minus 1, you have first value is 7 minus 1 square by 6 square. That is 6 square by 6 square, you have 1. Direct. Second one is also 6 by 6, 1. Third one is also 6 by 6, 1. Fourth one is 0. No issues. 14 minus 2, 12 by 6 is, you have 2 square, that is 4. The next one is again 6 by 6, 1. The next is 12 by 6, 2 square, 4. Next one is little different. 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3 square, 1 by 9. So these are my variance values. Now we are going to see how to draw the diagram. Okay, we are going to see how to draw the diagram. Do I have place here? Let me see. Yeah, I have an empty page here. Very nice. So I am shifting my question here. I hope you can see the data and the diagram that I am going to draw. It's completely rough. So I can also make mistakes. So I am going to use a pencil to draw my diagram. Let me rotate it a little bit so that my diagram will have a width, because it's going to be no, I don't think it's going to be very huge. Right, we'll see. So first, as I always say, mark the beginnings and the endings. Always start points and ending activities. So you have 3 starting activities, A, B and C, because there's a dash. There are 3 dashes here. So those are my starting activities. And since A, B, C, D, E, F, G is there, H is not there, this fellow becomes my ending activity. So I have only 1 ending activity and 3 starting activity. So since I have 3 starting activities, I am going to start with, I hope this is clear enough. Goodness. A, B, and definitely I think I'm going to need a space, and I'm going to use a rubber. Sure. Yeah, it looks like that only. Right. So now I have A, B, C. I have drawn my 3 nodes. If I want to number it, I can go ahead and number it. Later we see what I can do. Then from A, B, C, I have D, E and F. But D, E are joining together. So from A I have a D, and from B I have a E, and those fellows are joining together. And then I have an F and G are joining together. So what I do is, I have a F from here, I am pulling it up and I am putting it in a node here, that is 6. And from D, E, G comes, and G and F I have joined together so that I can get my H. So this is my diagram. Okay, I thought it would be pretty tough, but it is not. Actually, it's pretty easy. So starting 3, ending H, correct. I have A preceding, D is preceded by A, E is preceded by B and F is preceded by C, yes. Then DE precedes G, correct. And F and G precede H, that is also correct. So my diagram is like done. What I am going to do is to make it more clear to you, because my camera is not so pakka, I am going to redraw it so that you have a clarity. I always push it a little bit off so that you can understand that 2 comes after 3 and all that. You have to understand, otherwise there is no idea of giving a node. Nodes are like stages, so stages of a project should be away from each other. This is E and I have a F, then I have a G, and then I have a H. Okay, right. Now that I have penned it up, it's more clear. Okay, right. So now you have 3 time estimates. What my students usually ask me is, which one do we put here? No, you use TE. You use this value for the diagram. Okay. So for A, my value is 2. For B, it is 4. So for A, it is 2. For B, it is 4. Okay. For C, the value is 3. D, it is 1. So this is 3. D, it is 1. Then I am jumping, right? E, it is 6. F, it is 5. E is 6. F is 5. The last two, GH is 7 and 2. So G, it is 7. H, it is 2. So you don't use 3 time estimates. You use the estimated time, TE, in the diagram. Now again, if you have looked at my CPM diagrammatic representation, you will know that I draw 3 boxes of L, E and then slack. Now here I don't need a slack, so I am not putting it. I am not going to use a slack box. So I have drawn boxes for all the nodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I have drawn all the boxes. Now I am going to start. Starting as usual, 0. For 1 it is 0. Then for 2, this arrow is coming from 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 3 is 3. Now for the fifth node, you have 2 lines coming from 2 and 3. So you have 2 plus 1, 3. You can always write it on the side if you get confused. 2 plus 1, 3 and 4 plus 6, 10. The maximum would be 10. That comes here. Now again you have a selection choice here. Again I am going to draw a choice here. If you notice, this one is 3 plus 5, 8 and this one is 10 plus 7, 17. So maximum is 17. The last one is no problem. 17 plus 2, 19. Return journey, we are going to start with 19 itself. Minus 2, we have 17. Then we go to 5. 17 minus 7, you have a 10. And I am going to simultaneously draw my network also. Same. 17, 17, yes. I have a network critical path also. So I am doubling my lines. I come to 4. 4, there is only one line coming from here. 17 minus 5 is 12. This is not a critical path, so we leave it. We go to 3. 3, you have simply 10 minus 6 is 4. 10, 10, 4, 4. I draw my line. 2, again line coming from here. 10 minus 1 is 9. Not a critical path. The last one, 1, we have 3 choices. Choices are 9 minus 2, 7. 4 minus 4, 0. 12 minus 3, 9. Minimum of this is 0. And so this one gets my vote. So here you have a critical path. Which is 1 to 3 to 5 to 6 to 7. My project duration as usual, uh, 19 days, because in the question I have estimated time days, so I am going to put that itself. Then I have a project variance. Project variance sigma square, that would be 1 to 3. Let me see, 1 to 3 is activity B, right? So activity B has a variance value of 1, so that will be 1 plus activity E, 3 to 5, E is 4 plus G is 4, and the last one is H, of course, that will be 1 by 9. So you will have, let me see, 8, 9 into 9, 81 plus 1 by 9. So that will be 82 by 9. This will be your project variance. So this is the answer for the question. Here you go.